So thank you so much for being here. We're starting Perek Mem Dalet today. And we had a break for a couple of weeks with Basi Lagani. We're jumping right in. In Perek Mem Gimel, the Alter Rebbe presented two levels of Yiras Hashem, and then he presented two levels of Avas Hashem, and he named them Avas Olam and Ava Rabbah. And he explained that Avas Olam is love that one engenders towards Hashem by meditating on the gifts that Hashem gave us in the world. In other words, we discover Hashem through the world and we come to love Him. And then we have here, thank you. This is also for last week. Okay. Thank you. And guys, I'm going to count on you to figure out what to do with it, okay? So everyone, you'll figure it out. So that's Avas Olam. It's through the world that we come to love Hashem. Then there's Ava Rabbah. Ava Rabbah is an Ava that's received as a gift. That Hashem gifts a person with great love for Hashem. Ava Rabbah is beyond our limitations. It's like a B'chol Ma'oitcha experience. And Ava Rabbah, one of the ideas is that Avas Olam is a love of yearning, and Ava Rabbah is the love of having, what we would call pleasure. One has pleasure from what they have. So love grows fonder with distance, because we want something that we don't have. We yearn for. So Avas Olam is a love of yearning. Ava Rabbah is a love of experiencing. It's different. It's pleasure. It's actual closeness to Hashem.
It's like the story where the king sent his son away. It's like in order to go closer to him or something, right? And it was like, why are you sending him away? Distance is what. When you saw him later, it was like more of a pure thing, because it's not about words or whatever. It's about, I don't even speak the same language as you, but you're my father.
So that's how he appreciated him.
Right.
Yeah. So now the Alter Rebbe is going to spring from this discussion of Ava Rabbah and Avas Olam. So let's take a look. Perek Mem Dalet. V'hinei. Kol madreges Ahava. Mibeis madreges Elu. Ava Rabbah v'Avas Olam. I want you to know, says the Alter Rebbe, that these loves, the love that we call Avas Olam and the love that we call Ava Rabbah, nechlekes lakama bechines umadreges. It's not just two loves. They're two groups that are divided into many grades, le'enketz. And actually he says that it's kol chad lefum shi'ura delay, every person according to his measure. The Zohar on the pasuk in Eshes Chayil, al pasuk Neida Basha'orim Baila. So Neida Basha'orim Baila means that the woman sews beautiful garments for her husband, that he goes out and sits among the noblemen and becomes famous. He becomes Neida Basha'orim in the gates. But the Zohar has a different, right? He has a pnimius understanding, and he says, Hashem, Baila is Hashem, he's the husband of the Yidden, and Hashem is known, Basha'orim, from the word Shi'urim, in different measures. It could also mean different portals, but it means every person, Dokot Shabrichu, the Iu is Yada, Hashem is known, he's Noida, V'iz Dabak, by knowing him, we become close to him. L'kol chad lefum mad meshar belibe, every person according to his understanding. So meaning, every person has a different sheiresh haneshama. Every person understands things differently. The depth, our experience is different. Also, it's like what the Rambam, that story with the wine. that someone came to the Rambam. The Rambam charged people for their fee for healing them based on their ability. So a person came and said he's very poor. And the Rambam told him to take some kind of medicine with a cheap wine. And he said it didn't work. He said, take a more expensive wine. Right? Then the Rambam said, you owe me.
I love the area.
Right? Why? Because the reason why the other wines weren't effective is because your body is used to fancy wine. So now I know that you're wealthy. Right? That's why it wasn't effective. So what the one person, what excites them and what amazes them, they've never seen anything, right? For someone else, in order to excite them, who knows what. So it's endless. These avas, the avara, both, and it's true for both, for the avaraba, for the avas olam, vilachein, therefore. Nikroyim dechilu urichimu. This is why, says the Alter Rebbe, Ava and Yira are called Hanistaros Lashem Elokeinu. Why is Ava and Yira called Nistar? Because I don't know what's in your heart. And sometimes I can't even relate. So it's naturally Nistar. Teiru mitzvahs hein haniglas lonu levanenu la'asais. Performance of mitzvahs, everybody's one person in a million. Everybody wears tefillin the same. The Rebbe and everyone in the audience, they're all wearing tefillin, the same tefillin. It's the same mitzvah, the same talis. In practical performance of mitzvahs, it's all the same. It's niglos. If a person is religious or not, you could see. But what goes on in their heart, what do you know? Nobody knows. A person could be doing many mitzvahs, but he could have an ulterior motive. Classically, they say he's looking for a good shidduch. I'll say, he's trying to get divorced. I don't know. Right? Whatever, he has an ulterior motive. We are all equal. When it comes to performance, we're all equal. When it comes to Ava and Yira, which Ava and Yira depend on your knowledge of Hashem. And every person's knowledge depends on their neshama's root. In other words, from where does it come to a basar v'dam? It's really the nefesh elikis. The nefesh elikis has the ability to experience dveikus in Hashem, and everyone's nefesh elikis is different. So every person connects to a different aspect. Now, the Alter Rebbe, so till here we had an intro. The Alter Rebbe was introducing what's happening now. He says, before we spoke about Ava and Yir. However, Achas hi, there's one love. There's an Ava, haklula mikol bechinus hamadregas. There's a single love that combines Ava Rabba and Ava Solam. It's a gift, and we develop it intellectually. V'hi shava l'chol nefesh miYisrael. Every Jew can access it equally. The Alter Rebbe said earlier that Ava Rabba is a gift that's only given to tzaddikim. Actually, it explains in Chassidus that when it says that Ava Rabba is only given to tzaddikim, it's only tzaddikim gemurim. Right? Only complete tzaddikim. It's like what everyone's going to be here after such a skafia with the sushi. Knock yourselves out, Rabbi said. Huh? Yeah, please, before, after, and in the middle. Okay. So, I don't know. So he says, Achas I don't have access to them. So there's one Ava that combines Ava, which is amazing. How could that be? Ava Rabba and Ava Solam. I explained earlier that Ava Rabba is a gift. And Ava Solam is cultivated intellectually. What is this love? It's a Yerusha me'avisenu. Omar Zohar, the Zohar explains, Al Posuk, Nafshi Ivisicha Balayla. So the Posuk says, I didn't check where the Posuk is. Everyone could ask Rabbi Google. So Nafshi Ivisicha Balayla, the literal meaning is, literally it means, my soul loves you at night. The problem is that grammatically, the sentence is incorrect grammatically. It's not. Why? Because when we speak about nafshi, we speak about something other than me. My soul, my car, it belongs to me, but it's not me. It's not I. And then ivisicha means I love you. My soul, I love you. Right? Grammatically, it doesn't stand. Here it's a third person. So the Zohar says that the meaning of the pasuk is like this: Nafshi, you are my soul. We say to Hashem, Hashem, you are my soul. Therefore, ivisicha, I love you. When do I love you? Balayla, at night. What does it mean, I love you at night? Tainuk tmidi, ene tainuk, something that you have all the time, you don't enjoy. If you have a favorite food, if you eat it 3 times a day,
right, that's true. Or just being alive. People that their life is just saved, they appreciate life, but we just get so used to being
right?
alive.
So we have to wait. We have to have a moment where we feel like we don't have it, and then when we regain it, we have appreciation.
Back
So
to the distance thing,
so that's the balayla. That the distance is another idea, the same idea. I don't know. Okay, what? Yeah. So in other words, here. Let me explain the difference a minute. Yeah, the distance is something unattainable. Hashem is infinite. We can never truly experience Him. So we just yearn. Right? It's like, imagine someone is in love with someone or something that they can never get. So the love is incredibly powerful. Over here we have a different problem. There's something that's so close to me that I don't appreciate it. In order to appreciate it, I have to create distance. I have to feel like I'm going to lose it. I send my kids to camp so I could love them when they come back. Right?
And so during the day, you're more distracted.
Well,
So you cannot focus on your nervous way.
Balayla, when a person goes to sleep,
You don't distract.
so, when a person, not always, but sometimes when people are put to sleep, like with the procedure, they have a fear. You go to sleep every night, but now it's involuntary.
Yeah.
Someone's put it like, you become afraid. Not everyone, but it could happen. There's such a phenomenon that people feel. Anyway, so nafshi ivisicha balayla. Kum zitz avdem zayit. Kum. Keloimar. Mipnei. So now comes the Zohar. Oh, 1 second. Dirachim l'kutshu brichu. He loves Hashem. Rechimusa the nafsha verucha. He loves Hashem like he loves his own life and soul. Hashem is my life. I love Him. Kamod is daboku ilein begufa vegufa rachim lein. The body and the soul unite, and a person realizes that their life is not their body. Right? A person realizes that their life is their soul. Then they love their soul. That's the part that they love. I've told this story here before. I'm sorry that in the middle of a Tanya class, I'm mentioning a TED Talk. But anyway, I saw this years ago, I don't know, like 10 years ago, about a cyclist who was hit by a bus or a truck and broke their spine and was in the hospital with sandbags on the side of their neck. They broke their neck
To keep it in place.
to keep it in place. And they weren't alone in the room. There were other people in similar, okay? And this person, there was a man in the room and a woman. And for 6 months they spoke, but they never saw each other. And they fell in love, right, without ever seeing each other, just spiritually, right? We say, like, we can romanticize that idea.
No one thought to like bring the mirror.
They had mirrors in the room. No? But you want it like to be shaped this way, that way.
They definitely had things in common.
Right, as is said, that we are broken and that's how God shines in. But the point is that we want to romanticize this, right? But Alter Rebbe is saying that when a person sees past their guf, and they say, oh, it's my life, my desire to live, my love of life, that's my soul, not my body. So, and now to take that love and understand that really it's the Eibishter. That's what the Pasuk says, Nafshi ivisicha keloimar. Mipnei, remember, every time it says keloimar, we're paraphrasing. Right? Whenever you have to move away from the literal translation. Mipnei she'ata havaya nafshi. V'chayai ho'amitiyim, since Hashem, you are my true life. Lekach, therefore, ivisicha. That's why I yearn for you. Pirush. Shani mis'ave v'toev lecha. Ke'adam ha'mis'ave l'chayei nafshi. Like a person who desires life. Now, what Alter Rebbe is a few things. First of all, we're going to discover in the Perek Tanya, the Alter Rebbe doesn't take it for granted that we're going to tell someone, oh, Hashem is your life, and now they're going to love Him. That's not how it works. There's a process of meditation. There's a Hizbaininus, and not only a Hizbaininus. We're going to see there's a beautiful taich in this Perek Tanya on Beficha Ubulvavcha. Beautiful, yeah? When a person is weak, and in pain, when a person experiences pain, he wants to be restored. He wants his health restored. It could be a silly, simple pain, but it becomes such an obstacle. Someone gets their nail caught on a door, right? It's incredible. What is it?
You hit the nerve right there.
What is it? And somehow your whole Metzius, the grace of cup, the grace of hearts, you're completely paralyzed because you have this pain. So too, similarly, when a person goes to sleep, Mis'ave v'chofetz, he desires. Shetashuv nafshe elav. K'sheyeh mishnaseh, when he gets up, he should get up in the morning.
Be well rested.
Yeah? Kach, so too, ani mis'ave v'toiv, I desire, I yearn, la'ed ein seif baruch hu, chayei ha'chayim mu'amitim. Chayai, Hashem, my life. Lahamshichei b'kirbi, I want to bring Hashem into my life. And I realize that when I'm doing foolish things, I'm ignoring, I'm hiding the fact that Hashem is my life. When I learn Torah and I speak Hashem's words, that's when I'm really showing you that Hashem is my life. Al Yidei Esek HaTorah. And we're going to have this idea of Esek HaTorah here in Perek Mem Dalet and then in Perek Mem Hey. B'hakitzi mishnasi balayla. I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night and I'm going to learn Torah so that I could be close to Hashem.
So most likely it was Doyetable Posuk.
Yeah. Teiraisa v'kuchubichu kol echad. Hashem and the Torah. What is the Torah? Shmeisav shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Torah is Hashem. Like the Zohar writes there in the Hemshech, there he writes, the boy Barnash, it is required, right? It's the right thing for a person. Driven by love of Hashem. Lemekam b'chol laila, to rise every night. Liishtadola, to exert ourselves. Bepulchane, in the work. Esek HaTorah, to work, to study Torah ad safra till the morning chulu. I'll just say two things about what, first of all, in other words, to say, I'll wake up in the morning, and then when I'll wake up in the morning, I'll learn Torah. That's not Ava, that's Shulchan Aruch. The Shulchan Aruch says, when you wake up, you go learn. You daven and you learn. If someone is motivated by love, they're waking up early, they're stealing from their sleep. Right? So that's one thing. The other thing I'll say is, I don't mention this often, but my wife's great-grandfather was Reb Mendel Deitch. And he came, Europe, Dukshitz, whatever, after the war he came here. He lived in Crown Heights. So they lived in their children's home. So every night when the kids came home from school, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, they had to be quiet because the Zayda was sleeping. He would go to sleep 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, and he would literally wake up at 12 and learn from 12 till the morning. Every night. Like that it wasn't Tikkun Chatzos. Like that, and he wasn't someone that was considered a scholar, or you know what I mean? It's not
Is
with
it
bucket.
winter and summer?
No.
Why I'm asking because of marriage.
Because maybe David might have when he woke up. I don't know. But
If you wake up at 12 o'clock.
if you go to sleep before the Zman, I don't know. So to wake up early, to learn Torah, to be mishtadel b'polchanya ad safra till the morning. Yeah, and there's also something which I don't know this. I'm just mentioning it. I've shared here about there's a Hayom Yom about when in Yala V'Yava you say Zachreinu Hashem Alekeinu Beile Teva V'Agdeinu Veile Bracha V'Yeshinu Veile Chaim Tovim. So there's one boy and two voies. There's a Hayom Yom about it. So Shmuel Omer, Olav Shalom, his birthday is that day of that Hayom Yom, and he said that boy is 8 times 8 is 24 hours. So the three boys, one is for learning Torah, one is for work, and the other is for sleep.
My Zaidi used to say that.
And from doing dishes, man.
Right? So the idea is that the Zacharenu, the Torah learning, that has to be with a dogish. That 8 hours has to be solid. The other 2, you're allowed to steal from those.
Flexible.
But there's something from the Chidah where he talks about 10 hours of learning Torah and 7 and 7. I don't know where it is. The Chidah says something about there's a Yud. There's a Yud that the Torah learning, 7 hours, you take an hour from work and an hour from your business, and so eating and going to the bathroom and showering are part of sleeping and eating.
Rambam says only was about sleep. Always wake up.
Yeah. Ve'ava Rabbo. So till here the Alter Rebbe spoke about, and he's going to come back to this. There's an Ava that we're going to call Nafshi Ivisicha. Hashem is my heart. He's my life. He's my soul. That's why I love him. And he said we inherit it. There's an even greater love. We all have it. It's in our DNA. It says in the Zohar. Now, what it says in the Zohar is about Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu was to Hashem like a child, kibra the ishtadil basar avoy ve'emei, like a child who puts in effort to help his parents. The rachim loin, he loves them yatir megarmei, more than himself, and more than nafshe and ruche chulu. And Hashem is our Father. Ki haloi av echad lekulonu. This applies to every single Jew because Hashem is everyone's Father. Now, but I repeated this so many times. I went to the Holocaust Museum several times in Washington, and there's a guy there who says that there was a German officer who was going to kill his father, and he turned to the German officer and he said, "Everything I have two of, take one away. Let my father live. Take off one arm, one leg, whatever it is." But the guy didn't. But in simple terms, if a child has the opportunity to build his own business and make more money, or he has the opportunity to help his father, but he's going to make less money, the motivation to help a parent will outshine taking care of himself. And then lahalacha, technically avedas atzmai, and avedas aviv, avedas kedamas, right? Because kibbud av va'em has a limit that it's not supposed to cost you money.
I always had a clear on that. Is getting your own Aveda a mitzvah, or is it? So that's not the reason.
No, it's not. In other words, in the story in Kiddushin, and this is a very interesting thing, people sometimes don't, about the father who threw your wallet into the sea, Zarak Arnaki Liyam. I think Taisva says you could take him to Bezdin later to pay you back. In other words, you don't scream at him, you don't hit him, whatever. You don't show anger. But he can't, right? It's not at your expense. You're not mechuyev to anyway. But there are tzdadim. It is what it is. Without getting into it.
You just said the story of the Alter Rebbe once that the answer.
No.
About kibbud avim. It's only what the father directly experienced. But they were davening a different nusach, and the parents were getting upset.
Right. Right. It's something that's right. That's it's to the father. It's to the father. Anyway, in the Shulchan Aruch, where it says there's a few things that you don't have to obey your parents with regards to who to marry, which doesn't mean that they don't have good advice. Or which yeshiva to go to. So there in the Noise Kalim, they speak about the different, how do you take those principles and understand the abstract? What are we saying? Something that's a determination of your life, right? Is it a tsar, or it's a mitzvah, like marriage and Torah learning are a mitzvah. But whatever, so the Noise Kalim speak a little bit about it. It's not a lot of text, but just a few little points. The af. So here we have these two avas. The Alter Rebbe hasn't told us yet how to achieve them. He only described them. We'll get to that in a minute. The af. Ki mi hu ze ve'ezehu. Who could dare? Asher Arav Libay, who has the boldness, it's not a boldness, but Lageshes, Lahasig. Yeah. Afilu Chelek Echad Mini Elef, even 1,000th. Mimadregas Avas Rai Mehemde. Who?
It's more courage.
Who? Yeah.
It's from a beautiful place.
Can who say that his heart is in that place that he could, that he could be on the level of Moshe Rabbeinu, Mikol Mokim, nevertheless. In other words, before I get to the answer, part of there's a part of the introduction to this perek that I missed. That is that why are we talking about Avarabba in Tanya? Avarabba is a gift of Hashem to tzaddikim, and only tzaddikim gemurim. So why are we talking about it? So the Alter Rebbe is really going to answer that. Mikol Mokim, Hare Efes Kotzehu V'Shemetz Minehu, a sliver, a taste of this incredible Meirav Tuvay V'Oirei, His goodness from His light, L'Klolos Yisrael B'Chol Der V'Der, Meshakasa B'Tikunim, Dispashtusei B'Chol Dara V'Dara, L'Anhara Lein V'Chulu, to shine, to illuminate our life. Rak, however, Sheha'orazu, this light from Moshe Rabbeinu, he b'bchinas Hester v'Helam Godel. Hester, it's covered up, and Helam, it's hidden. It's hidden and it's covered up. B'nefashis kol beis Yisrael.
What's the difference?
Because when something is hidden, it means that doesn't mean there's an obstacle. It means we have to find it. When there's Hester, Hester means
Like, where do you find it?
there's a lid.
Book. I'm trying to.
No, so there's something that's the idea.
Maybe you won't find it. Maybe you don't even know where to look.
No, the Hester and the Helam means it's hidden. Hester means there's something blocking it. So it's an extra layer. Right, there's something in the way. So he says, to extract, avazu hamsuteres, me'ahelam v'hester elagilui. Our avodah, how do we reveal it? Lias bias galus libayomeiche, that we should feel it. He says, I want you to know, loy nefleis v'loy rechoikahi. It's not beyond you. It's not too far. Elakarev hadavar me'oid b'ficha u'v'lvavcha. It's very close. So now we have something strange. Why is it that in the pasuk it says b'ficha u'v'lvavcha? Why does it say b'ficha first? Right? Either you're going from leiv peh maisa, machshava dibur maisa, or you're going maisa dibur machshava. Why do you start with b'ficha? Bechlal, the chidush of Kariv is not maisa. The chidush of Kariv is levavcha. So it should have said levavcha first. So here the Alter Rebbe is going to answer that. The Hainu, I want you to know that you beficha, by speaking about it, you will drive it into your heart.
Fake it until make it.
Not fake it, express
You're
it.
pushing that. You're pushing
Not. He's going to speak. The Alter Rebbe here has a section.
You know, if you repeat that is the best position. It's the best position.
The Alter Rebbe here is going to spend he has a chunk about saying that it's not fake. It's very serious. He takes it very. Says Dahainu, Lias Rogil Alashoinoi. It should be something you're always talking about. And V'koiloi. It should be always. You should always be uttering. You should be saying. And we know that koil is ma'eder hakavana. Koil brings out intention. It's ma'eder, the feeling. La'eder kavanas libay umoiche. Okay, so it should be laha mikma. Look what and then the Alter Rebbe goes back to laha mikma chshavte b'chaya chayim seiv baruch hu ki hu avinu mamash amiti. That Hashem is our true Father. And Hashem is umaker chayenu. Hashem is the true source of life. To rouse in us love to Hashem, ke'avas haben eloav.
Does this include singing or inarticulate speaking?
Singing too. Yes. Depends what type of singing.
Well, he's the father. He's
Not every singer is going to reach this.
no, but a person can sing for themselves. They don't have to sing for an audience.
That's beautiful.
So the thing is like this: the inyan of singing is bechlal, to be ma'ader emotion, right? That's Bechlal, Kol Me'erer HaKavona. But here, the Alter Rebbe is speaking about a specific type of meditation of Hu Avinu, that Hashem is our Father, right? What the Alter Rebbe is saying is that even though it's true that Hashem is our Father, but it could feel distant. It could feel distant means it could not mean anything to me. So I have to bring it into my awareness in order that I should feel it. Let me talk about two things here for a minute. I'm just thinking. So first of all, there's in the Tanya Mevueres, he brings here that Rav Aaron Karlin, he writes in one of his Sfarim, or they bring from him, in a Yiddish phrase, that he says, how fortunate we are that Hashem put that in the Torah, the word beficha comes before uvelvavcha. Because if we wouldn't have song, we'd have no way to open our heart. When you tell a person, serve Hashem with your heart, where do I begin? But if you tell a person to sing, so once you're singing, the singing becomes the opening. That's Rab Aaron's. But the Rebbe Rashab in Ranat has a whole arichis. The beginning of Ranat, that's that mimer that speaks about Kol Me'erer HaKavona. You learned that a little bit in yeshiva. They also, we have the Mamorim in English, the Hasidic Heritage series. They did a really beautiful job with the Mamorim. The first three Mamorim of Ranat, they have, anyway, really, even if you just read the Kitzur, read the introduction, it's very beautiful. So there, the Rebbe Rashab, how would I say it? He's like in a painstaking way. He says, you have to understand that in Chabad, we don't start with nigun. In Chabad, we start with meditation. There's meditation, then there's nigun, then there's emotion. In other words, the nigun helps the kavana, it helps the thought, the machshava, me'erer the leiv. And here you see that what out.
What?
Nigun is coming.
Professionals do it these days.
No, your opposite is the Yidden is the most highest level.
Okay, but here look what the Alter Rebbe did. Lahamik machshavte. You see, he goes back.
First meditation.
Meaning, lahamik machshavte, like there's lahamik machshavte. First, you have to be mizbainen, and then there's the inyan of rogel al and koil. But you can't skip this part of of his bainus.
Good morning.
Then there's another thing here. The Alter Rebbe here has two loves. He says, Hashem is my life, Hashem is my Father. So the Alter Rebbe says that Hashem is my life, so it's very close. It's my life. It's me. Every person naturally wants to live. All we need to do is realize, remind ourselves that that's Hashem, really. That my life, that's Hashem. Then there's the meditation that Hashem is my Father. So it would seem that Hashem is my Father is a little more distant. It's not as close as Hashem is my life. And then we'll soon see, the Alter Rebbe says, that Hashem is my life is more difficult to achieve than Hashem is my Father. Okay? Another thing is that remember that the Ava, I don't want to, the love that Hashem is my life is more limited. Because my life, I cherish my life, I'm not giving it up. But for parents, we'll give up our life. Whatever, let's leave that on the side for a minute, okay? So the Rebbe has a very interesting thought here, the Rebbe says. The Rebbe says that when I love my life, it's a physical sensation. Right? It's felt physically, it's experienced physically. In order for a person to experience Avas Hashem, that it should be able to be felt physically, is a high madrega. The love of a father is a spiritual love. It's not a physical love. It's a non-tangible. We love our father, but it's not felt in the same way. The way the body experiences its own life, we feel our own life. Like, I know that I'm alive. Like, I don't need proof. Right? Even if I don't understand it, I feel it. I experience it. So the Ava of Nafshi of Ivisicha is an experiential Ava. The Ava to a father is not the same. So it's easier to experience Hashem as our father than to...
As you said. As our father?
Right.
But that I'm not feeling.
Right. Because the love of a father is not felt physically, it's easier, even though it's a deeper love and a person's ready to sacrifice. It's like a values-based love. It's not
Okay, good. Yeah.
Right?
That's the feeling. Okay.
It's not a feeling of like a physical.
People can actually feel, and it's
It's logically intense the way
me
it says
feeling
that
is more.
I am alive because of Hashem. Hashem is always
But I
support my
understand
life.
values.
Okay, even if a
You see
That's
what the
very
Rebbe says?
interesting, yeah.
Because the Alter Rebbe is soon going to say, he goes into this whole discussion about Hashem being our father, and then he says, oh, by the way, also the Av of Nafshi Ivisicha, you could also... What do you mean? That one should have been easier. So the Rebbe shares this nakuda. Let's read a little bit inside.
You understand what's happening?
We'll read a little more.
I'm thinking about a yosem or a person who's been abused by the father.
Oh.
You know, whether it's like innate in you to have a father, or if you're a yosem.
I have to turn off the camera. As soon as I turn off the camera, we'll talk about that in a minute, okay? It's not going to be a mic drop. Okay, a few lines.
Phone drop.
When a person will continuously get used to it. It'll be natural to always be on his mind and to love. This is like, what am I, fantasy? I'm imagining.
Always goes to this.
We're looking for truth. Lo yochish, don't worry about it. Me'achar shehu emes la'amita.
It's
Because
the ego
Hashem,
that's confusing the people.
Hashem is our Father. Mitzad atzma, and it's built in. B'bchinas ava mesoteres. And now comes a whole building. These lines in Tanya, by the way, they tie in everything we learned until now. It's like the lamids, and it's like, this is like the bow, he's tying it, you understand? He says, Rak, shetoyeles yitziasa el agilui, kedei la'avi l'demaisa. If I have the love already, it's in my DNA, so why do I have to spend time thinking about it and expressing it? Because the point is, it should motivate my actions. Because the Alter Rebbe explained before that if a person does a mitzvah without Avas Hashem, even though it's a mitzvah, the light of Hashem in it is so small. Because we're in Eilam Ha'asiyah. We want the mitzvah to be lichtik. We want it to be able to be oila to a spiritual world, to go up to Eilam Abriya, to Eilam Yitzira, it shouldn't be just a physical act. It should be a spiritual act. So, and that's what we're trying to do. That this love should drive, should motivate. Shehu Eisak Atera v'Amitzvus Shalem Midumekayim Al Yidei Zeh. That this love brings me to do mitzvahs. Why am I doing them? Because Hashem is my Father. And what do I want to do? Kedei la'aseis nachas ruach lefanav yizbarech. Kebena evides aviv. Like a child serving his father, helping his father. V'alzeh amru, this is what Chazal were referring to when they said that machshava teva, HaKadosh Baruch Hu metzarfa l'maisa. This is what the Alter Rebbe said in Tezayin, that even though the machshava is only a machshava, and it's not a real motivator, but li is gadfin leparcha kenal, that it will cause to be oila l'mayla. Now let me take a minute here.